Daily Words of God. People's many misunderstandings about Job. The hardship suffered by Job was not the work of angels sent by God, nor was it caused by God's own hand. Instead, it was personally caused by Satan, the enemy of God. Consequently, the level of hardship suffered by Job was profound. Yet at this moment, Job demonstrated, without reserve, his everyday knowledge of God in his heart, the principles of his everyday actions, and his attitude toward God. And this is the truth. If Job had not been tempted, if God had not brought trials upon Job, when Job said, "Jehovah gave, and Jehovah has taken away. Blessed be the name of Jehovah," you would say that Job is a hypocrite. God had given him so many assets, so of course he blessed the name of Jehovah. If, before being subjected to trials, Job had said, "Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil?" you would say that Job was exaggerating, and that he would not forsake the name of God, since he was often blessed by the hand of God. If God had brought disaster upon him, then he would surely have forsaken the name of God. Yet, when Job found himself in circumstances that no one would wish for, or wish to see, or wish to befall them, which people would fear befalling them, circumstances that even God could not bear to watch, Job was still able to hold on to his integrity. Jehovah gave, and Jehovah has taken away. Blessed be the name of Jehovah. And shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? Faced with Job's conduct at this time, those who love to talk high-sounding words and who love to speak letters and doctrines are left speechless. Those who extol God's name in speech only, yet have never accepted the trials of God, are condemned by the integrity to which Job held firm. And those who have never believed that man is able to hold firm to the way of God are judged by Job's testimony. Faced with Job's conduct during these trials and the words that he spoke, some people will feel confused, some will feel envious, some will feel doubtful, and some will even appear disinterested, turning their noses up at the testimony of Job, because they not only see the torment that befell Job during the trials, and read of the words spoken by Job, but also see the human weakness betrayed by Job when the trials came upon him. This weakness they believe to be the supposed imperfection in the perfection of Job, the blemish in a man who in God's eyes was perfect. Which is to say, it is believed that those who are perfect are flawless, without stain or sully, that they have no weaknesses, have no knowledge of pain, that they never feel unhappy or dejected, and are without hate or any externally extreme behavior. As a result, the great majority of people do not believe that Job was truly perfect. People do not approve of much of his behavior during his trials. For example, when Job lost his property and children, he did not, as people would imagine, break into tears. His indecorum makes people think he was cold, for he was without tears or love for his family. This is the bad impression that Job first gives people. They find his behavior after that even more perplexing. Rent his mantle has been interpreted by people as his disrespect for God, and shaved his head is wrongly believed to mean Job's blasphemy and opposition to God. Apart from Job's words that Jehovah gave, and Jehovah has taken away. Blessed be the name of Jehovah. People discern none of the righteousness in Job that was praised by God, and thus the assessment of Job, of the great majority of them, is nothing more than incomprehension, misunderstanding, doubt, condemnation, and approval in theory only. None of them are able to truly understand and appreciate Jehovah God's words that Job was a perfect and an upright man, one that feared God and shunned evil. Based on their impression of Job above, people have further doubts as to his righteousness, for Job's actions and his conduct, recorded in the scriptures, were not as earth-shatteringly touching as people would have imagined. Not only did he not carry out any great feats, but he also took a potsherd to scrape himself while sitting among the ashes. This act also astonishes people and causes them to doubt, and even deny Job's righteousness. For while scraping himself, Job did not pray to God, or promise to God, nor, moreover, was he seen to weep tears of pain. At this time, people only see the weakness of Job and nothing else, and thus even when they hear Job say, "Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil?" they are completely unmoved, or else undecided, and are still unable to discern the righteousness of Job from his words. The basic impression that Job gives people during the torment of his trials is that he was neither cringing nor arrogant. People do not see the story behind his behavior that played out in the depths of his heart, nor do they see fear of God within his heart, or adherence to the principle of the way of shunning evil. His equanimity makes people think his perfection and uprightness were but empty words, that his fear of God was merely hearsay. The weakness that he revealed externally, meanwhile, leaves a profound impression on them, giving them a new perspective on, and even a new understanding toward the man whom God defines as perfect and upright. Such a new perspective and new understanding are proven when Job opened his mouth and cursed the day he was born. Though the level of torment he suffered is unimaginable and incomprehensible to any man, he spoke no words of heresy, but only lessened the pain of his body by his own means. As recorded in the scriptures, he said, "Let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, There is a man-child conceived." Job chapter 3, verse 3. Perhaps no one has ever considered these words important, and perhaps there are people who have paid attention to them. In your view, do they mean that Job opposed God? Are they a complaint against God? I know that many of you have certain ideas about these words spoken by Job, and believe that if Job was perfect and upright, he should not have shown any weakness or grief, and ought instead to have faced any attack from Satan positively, and even smiled in the face of Satan's temptations. He should not have had the slightest reaction to any of the torment brought upon his flesh by Satan, nor should he have betrayed any of the emotions within his heart. He should even have asked that God make these trials even harsher. This is what should be demonstrated and possessed by someone who is unwavering and who truly fears God and shuns evil. Amid this extreme torment, Job did but curse the day of his birth. He did not complain about God, much less did he have any intention of opposing God. This is much easier said than done, for since ancient times until today, no one has ever experienced such temptations or suffered that which befell Job. And why has no one ever been subjected to the same kind of temptation as Job? Because, as God sees it, no one is able to bear such a responsibility or commission. No one could do as Job did, and moreover, no one could still, apart from cursing the day of their birth, not forsake the name of God and continue to bless the name of Jehovah God, as Job did when such torment befell him. Could anyone do this? When we say this about Job, are we commending his behavior? He was a righteous man and able to bear such testimony to God, and capable of making Satan flee with its head in its hands, so that it never again came before God to accuse him. So what's wrong with commending him? Could it be that you have higher standards than God? Could it be that you would act even better than Job when trials come upon you? Job was praised by God. What objections could you have?